This is what happens when one company controls all the local news stations.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things that aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
No, that was extremely dangerous to our democracy.
This is going to sound creepy, but you can use a photo of anyone's face and find all of their social media platforms. Just go on pimeyes.com. Just upload a photo of yourself. And as soon as I added one photo, they were able to find me online. The more photos you upload, the better it'll be able to detect social media platforms. And that's why you don't upload everything online, because anyone can find it.
Nobody is talking about this, but see this yellow square? This is what Elon Musk has to say about it.
If you wanted to power the entire United States with solar panels, it would take a fairly small corner of Nevada, Texas, Utah, anywhere. You only need about 100 miles by 100 miles of solar panels to power the entire United States.
That's all the land we would need to power the entire United States with just the sun's energy. No pollution, no greenhouse gases. And this is something we're already paying for. When you pay your electric bill, you're paying your utility company. Whereas if we just did that much solar in America, your electric bill would be lower than what it is now and would never go up. Solar lasts for 40 years. 40 years of clean and cheap energy for the country. But unfortunately, the gas and oil companies around America own the monopoly and all the power. Let's advocate for solar. Let's vote for officials who understand solar. We went to the moon in like 7 years. We can do this.
Did you know that on March 26, 2020, Microsoft was granted an international patent named WO 2020-060606, which is a cryptocurrency system that mines cryptocurrency using body activity data?
Should you be putting tape over your webcam? Edward Snowden puts tape over his camera. The director of the FBI? And my laptop has a physical switch. Some people argue if your computer has malware on it, it's already compromised, so why bother? Even if your computer has remote access by an attacker, it's a lot more desirable if they can broadcast you or your child to the world. 2 Philadelphia students were secretly photographed at home with school-issued MacBooks. A California man sentenced 6 years for spying on over 100 girls, mostly underage. If the girls wouldn't send him more, he'd post the photos publicly. And many more stories just like that. So yes, cover your camera. You can take it a step further, go into BIOS and disable the camera and microphone. Disable anything else you don't need that could be a threat.
All films have a different color scheme. Even though they manipulate the colors of the scene, the skin tones of the actors remain unchanged and natural. They do this by isolating the color of the skin from all of the other colors on the scene. They are able to do this because every single human on planet Earth, regardless of ethnicity or race, actually have the same hue of skin, which is orange. There's no black skin, there's no white skin, there's no brown skin, there's only orange skin. We only think that some people have different skin colors because some people have darker orange skin and some people have lighter orange skin. Some people have more saturated orange skin and some people have less saturated orange skin. Color grading actually became much easier because every single human on planet Earth has orange skin. It's actually awesome to know that we are much more similar than we think we are. Nice.
The reason that I don't want to date an overweight woman is because I put effort into myself every single day to not be overweight. When I wake up, I go on my 2-mile run, come back, do my 30 push-ups, my 40 sit-ups, and my 30 pull-ups. It's not that much, but it keeps me fit. And I am sorry that it is so controversial that I want to be with someone that also has the capacity to put positive influence on themselves.
Hi, so my English is not so good, but I try to pronounce this word. Okay? Maybe little accent too. Okay. A corrupt country where the ruling party denies human-made climate change, where half of its military spendings are not spent on the military, but on outsourced services, pretty much being corporate welfare on a cosmic scale. Not only is this country run by a Cheeto who got filthy rich via tax loopholes, it is a hotspot for systemic racism. Thank you!
Wait, don't scroll. Let me tell y'all why Donald Trump is the worst racist ever. Donald Trump is the first racist to have dated a black woman, upgraded MLK's birthplace to a national landmark, lent his own personal plane to Nelson Mandela. Might have heard of that guy. He's kissed the Western Wall. He's pardoned Jack Johnson. He's overseen the lowest unemployment rate for all minorities. He established an Opportunity and Revitalization Council to help restore black neighborhoods. He's granted Alice Johnson clemency. He's signed a major criminal reform bill into law. He's denounced David Duke over 20 years ago publicly. He's increased funding for HBCUs, and he's been given a Lifetime Achievement Award for helping pave a way for blacks to enter corporate America. If he's a racist, he's the worst racist ever.
Underrated media. Okay, so there's this documentary on YouTube called Out of Shadows. What's crazy is this was posted a month ago, as you can see, and it's got 14 million views. YouTube is heavily suppressing this. If you search it on YouTube right now, you would think it would show up, but it's not even on the front of the list. It talks about how Hollywood has a hidden agenda in all of their media outlets. The CIA has been heavily involved. It's actually pretty dark. It exposes the fact that there's been cannibalism-themed Hollywood dinners, trafficking of children through Hollywood, child abuse as entertainment during Hollywood events. It even talks about Jeffrey Epstein and how he's played a role throughout all of this, and the satanic rituals that were formed in his temple on his island. A lot of people think that YouTube is hiding this on purpose, which only further validates the case of everything. If you're trying to watch it, make sure you watch this one right here.
So there's this Illuminati card game, and I'm talking about it because obviously they want people to see it. It's been around since the 90s, and now people are just starting to notice that I started following this when I saw that there was quarantine on it, an epidemic, but right after that, it's following like a very specific order of events that have been happening. Then it says combined disasters right above here. Then it says kill for peace, and there's an officer on the ground right there. Rewriting history, combined disaster, terrorist nuke like 9/11, the Pentagon on fire, population reduction, Center for Disease Control, epidemic, where it says quarantine. I don't know what tape runs out means, but that could mean we're going into another universe, that could mean the world's ending, that could mean history's gonna repeat itself again. But it's been super accurate, this game, and it came out in the 90s, so how would they have known?
What if human beings are the product of accelerated evolution? Like, what if they came down here, they found this incredibly rich planet that's filled with biodiversity and all these different life forms, and then they found these primates. And like, oh, we know where these fuckers are going. Like, this is us 10 billion years ago or whatever the fuck it is. Let's accelerate this little party. Let's inject some of our super advanced DNA into these primates, and let's see where it takes itself.
So what do you think? You think, yeah?
That's a fun story.
Right.
That's the story that they told Bob Lazar. But Bob Lazar said, I don't know if they told me that to throw us off the trail, if it's disinformation, or if it's just some wacky thing that they came up with to like have a crazy story that the scientists couldn't tell anybody. So if you do tell people, like, what are you working on? I'm working on reverse engineering a propulsion system from an aircraft that came from another planet. And by the way, we are a product of it.
When people put themselves out there like that, what if no one cares? What if no one follows them? What if no one likes them?
It depends on how you feel about yourself. Am I watching the patterns of 14-year-old teenagers who are taking 3 minutes to 15 minutes to take a selfie, post it on Instagram, then if they don't get enough likes in the first 20 minutes, take it down and start over?
Gary, I'm afraid, what are we doing to our young people?
We're not doing jack shit. This is what's happening. There's no we are doing. This is the reality of human evolution. If this was 1961, you'd be like, Gary, I'm worried about Elvis shaking his hips. What are we teaching? This is happening whether you or I like it. It's evolution. The end. Nothing's changed. It just gets accelerated. And what happens is we get scared because we get old. We get scared of everything that we didn't grow up with. It's what human beings do.
So, who is Anonymous? Recently, the hacktivist group Anonymous has re-entered the public eye. If you haven't seen their 3-minute video or the barrage of Anon accounts and posts that came after, go see it. People are commenting saying, that's not the real Anonymous, and these people are in the quantum state of being both right and wrong, so let's unpack why. Anonymous is not one person, it's not even an organization. There is no formal structure and no formal leadership. They're a group of hackers united by mission, not membership. And while their reputation and indeed the reality is that they are comprised of some of the most elite hackers in the world, the true point of Anonymous is the pledge of one's abilities, whatever they may be, to the eradication of censorship and perceived injustice. So while this resurgence may or may not contain the same Anons, Anonymous is not defined by actual identities. You cannot join Anonymous, you cannot be kicked out. Being anonymous means foregoing personal notoriety to forward the power of collective action, a demonstration of the might of the many. They are anonymous because they can be everyone. They are no one because they can be you.
Do you know what day of the week you are most likely to die from a heart attack? Take a guess. I'll give you a second. It's Monday. Care to guess what time? It is between 8 and 9 a.m. Do you know what else happens Monday at 8? That is the same day and time people get ready to go into jobs they hate. Coincidence? I don't think so. Take a look at this chart. This is the lifespan of the average person. On average, we live about 80 years. If we're lucky, we start working at about 18, and we work, and retire at about 67. Now, what does this tell you?